Hello everyone, welcome to round 2 of Challenger League Season 12. We're here for the Finnish C-Pre at the Kymi Ring, returning after a full year off the calendar. We are right back onto it, and we are starting off with our brand new qualifying format. So we've only got the single session of qualifying here, full dry spec. So the drivers will be going 3 laps here in the dry to set a fastest possible time, and for the sprint race, the top 10 will be reversed from the grid. So first in the qualifying will start in 10th, second in qualifying will start in 9th, and so on. And then for our feature race, we'll be starting off as exactly as the qualifying grid is lined up. So, with a bit of shake-up in our qualifying, we're going to see who can put in a solid lap to start us off. It's Figueira with a 35.75 to start us off. He'll be holding on to provisional P1. His teammate Matima is starting in second, and it's Rams and Saucy lining the second row. Pumpkin and 6Y 5th and 6th, and it's Lobster in 7th. Jaruni in 8th, and it's Little One and Ethan rounding out the top 10 so far. That important top 10. You will have to remember that 10th place will start on pole for the sprint, so we'll have to see if whoever starts in P10 can take advantage of that. We're getting through our second laps here, and it's 6Y just getting onto provisional pole with a lap 200ths faster than Figueira. It's still Figueira and Matima second and third, Pumpkin in 4th, Saucy and Rams. And not too many improvements on that second lap. We'll have to see if anyone can make things happen with this final lap of qualifying here. Now those further back the grid have one last chance to make a move here. Still Figueira rounding the final corner. He'll be the first to set a new lap time. It is an improvement, and 6Y does improve, but Figueira will take pole position for the feature race. And that is all she wrote for our sole qualifying session today. Figueira in P1, then it's 6Y in second, just 300ths back from him. Matima and Rams will be on the second row together, so good qualifying once again for the Riker Autos. 5th will be Pumpkins as the last driver to get under 36 seconds. Saucy will start in 6th, then it's Himpo and Red Lobster in P8. Our sole independent driver for today. He's doing a good job showing off, but he has tied with Kiato, so we'll have to see who gets given 8th and 9th on the grid. That will be important, because that will be 2nd and 3rd in the sprint race. Urist boosts up through that last lap of qualifying, finishes 10th, so he will start on pole for the sprint. Jaruni in 11th, just outside that top 10 there. Then it's Little One in 12th, Rusky, and then Axperial line up on the 7th row of the grid. Then it's Bunyos James, Ethan in 16th, Priya, Bubbles, and Trixie. A bottom row start for the Mazda Motorsport team for both races. Trixie not getting a great lap in there, but that's all good. That can be redeemed in a few corners, actually. This is a very tight, tricky circuit. Lots of tight bends and plenty of places to attempt dives or overtakes here at the Kymi Ring. So, with that said, we're just going to have the grid shaped up here for our for a sprint race, because the top 10 will be inverted. So that'll be Urist will start in P1. Kiato and Red Lobster, I'm not sure with that qualifying. I believe Kiato will be 2nd and Red Lobster 3rd. Then it's Himpo and Saucy also tied for 4th and P5. Pumpkin will start in 6th for the sprint. Then it's Rams, Matty, 6Y, and Figo who will start in P10. So a lot of the big hitters for the sprint will be starting right in the middle of the order here. 6Y, Figo, Matima, also joined by Jaruni in 11th. And Little One is no slouch in P12 as well. So, with that, we'll have to just wait a few moments, get that quali sorted, and we'll join you for this inaugural sprint race of this new, more faithful F2 qualifying format. Alrighty, we're back on the grid. 5 red lights, and we are underway for 10 laps of our sprint race, sorry. Eurus gets us underway. Kyato and Red Lobster getting side by side as we enter turn 4 for the first time. Lots of drivers finding the gravel on the outside. It's Kyato and Himpo leading us away at the long charge through to turn 5. Oh, big little... Oh my god, what has happened there between Saucy and Pumpkin? Massive starter there. Jaruni and Eurus finding even more of the gravel. It's Matima running away now, followed by the two Volpe Iroka drivers. Himpo ahead of Rams on his home C-Pre race here. Kyato, Saucy been teleported all the way up here. I'm not too sure what's going on with Singaporean's connection there. Rams finding trouble. Saucy super far off. Oh my god, there's even more trouble at the back of the field here. Just finding so much trouble getting through these cars here. Everyone's been stalling. Eurus gets...
Saucy DNF, please. Yeah, Saucy DNF.
Saucy needs DNF here. It's just too much. This connection is really a big hamper. Jaruni at the back of the field now. Matima is leading us away. 6Y behind him in P2. Then it's Himpo and a bit of a gap between those guys and the next group. Figo, Rams, and Kyato. Kyato started really high up. Rams finding trouble there in the tight and dangerous turn 13 there. That tight right-hand hairpin. That signals the end of the second sector of the lap. Bonnie James running in P8 after a decent start. Pumpkin falling behind there. Little One and Bubbles battling there on the long straight. And it's Eurus and Ethan also behind them, is going side by side as we enter turn 5 once again. Pumpkin tries to get through on the two of them. It's quite clean from the Norwegian driver, but Little One and Bunyo entering the track have found a big pile of trouble here. Massive pile of cars to greet them. Little One going for the dive there, but Ethan's got better grip. He'll hold on to the position here. Little One once again trying to make it back through Ethan. Looks like he's gone side by side as they enter turn 1 together at the end of lap 4. Let's go back to the leaders because Matima and 6Y are in a fight of their own now. 6Y has gapped Figo and Himpo. Himpo's actually fallen back into that second group. So 6Y just on that slipstream of Matima trying to chase the pole down as they get through. 6Y is also holding on to the current fast lap of the race as he tries to make the move, but the inside turns into the outside there, and Matty will hold on for the time being. Figueroa is gapped. Oh my god, Saucy's teleporting again. This needs to be a DNF from the Singaporean driver, but it's still continuing to go on.
David, you have to type it in.
Oh gosh, it's just too much. Yeah, I think no, still going. Gonna follow the leaders as they're getting through. But yeah, again, Matty and 6Y side by side here. There's still Matimar ahead as we just finish up the 5th lap, so just under halfway. Is Figueroa leading us off in P3. Saucy is still around, needs to DNF. And there we go. Himpo now running in P4. That will become P4 as once the timing sheets figure themselves out here. Still 6Y and Matimar. 6Y has gotten through. I've sort of missed that. It's really covered the inside of that corner there well. Still holding onto the position as we finish up lap 6. Both drivers cutting a bit of the grass there, trying to shave every tiny bit of time here. Figueroa has actually taken back the fastest lap of the race as well, so that'll be his, I assume, for the end of the race now. He's still 2 seconds off the front to Himpo in P4, and it's Rams following him up. Kyato in P6, it's Priya, Pumpkin, Bunyo, it's James, and Little One rounding out the top 10 though. He's getting challenged here by Rusky. Going side by side as they enter into turn 5 together. Rusty has the inside, and it looks like he's gonna hold on to that position, bro. Little One gets... Oh, dude. I'm not too sure how to really judge that. He had the higher speed going to turn 9 there, but Rusky just finding the grass there, and even more trouble there for Red Lobster behind, who catches a bit of the grass as well. Drew trying to fight his way through this pack. He's got a little bit of extra speed, but you know, it's Ethan actually running away at the front of this pack. He puts in a personal best lap of the race so far. And Little One finding the gravel, and so does Mr. Bubbles. who both have their own battles to contend with for the time being. Let's go back to the leaders, because Matimar's actually touched a bit of gravel as I enter this little fight here. 6Y still in the lead, and actually this fighting will allow Figueroa just a little bit of time here. I don't think he's going to get back to them. He's only got 2 laps to undo the 1.8 second gap between him and his teammate. But I believe 6Y has escaped Matimar's slipstream. Still though, there are massive battles all over the field here, especially in some of the lower positions. Drivers still clinging onto that slipstream wherever they can. With just under 2 laps to go as 6Y is rounding out turn 14 here. Matimar still giving chase, but he's slowly falling away. That exit is not going to help him. And 6Y now has gapped Matimar by about a second. It's looking like a potentially comfortable final lap for the Latvian driver. Can Matimar do anything from this position? Figueroa still chasing his teammate down, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Himpo still in P4, then it's Rams. The top 6 all sort of gapped on their own now. The next big battle is happening between P7, P8. Pumpkin getting shoved onto the side of the road there. Bunny Oats, James and Ethan chasing alongside as the group between 7th and 10th really battling out here, but it's going to be 6Y rounding the final corner and winning the sprint race here. It's going to be Matimar and Figueroa. The Riker Auto is making it a double podium. And then it's Himpo and Rams, the 2 VEOs, 4th and 5th. Kiato's gapped everyone into P6, but it's Pumpkin and Priya. Priya's got a better exit, but I think Pumpkin is just going to hold on to the position there. He'll take P7. Priya 8th. Ethan... Oh, dude. What has happened to Ethan's lap counter? Because he's definitely finished 9th there. I believe Bunyo's James will finish in 10th, and it's Jaruni, Rusky, then it's Little One. Yeah, something's gone wrong with Ethan's timing there. We'll have to sort that out, because he definitely finished ahead of Bunyo's James at least there. But it is 6Y taking the win there. Was able to really fight it out there with Matimar for a good few laps, and took it in the end quite comfortably with a 1.7 second gap. He really only built that gap through the last lap and a half. Matimar and Figo 2nd and 3rd. Good result for them. Himpo and Rams 4th and 5th. Then Kiato and Pumpkin 6th and 7th. We'll have to see. It would be... sorry. Why do I see 6Y both 19th and 1st? That is interesting. Because I don't see Ethan on the timing sheet. He should be P8. Alrighty then. Without further ado, a bit of a fumbling all over the place happened, but we are ready. We're in the grid. The lights are out, and we're underway for our feature race here at the Kymi Ring. Figueroa leading us away. 6Y finding the grass immediately. That's going to cause trouble for him as they enter turn 4. Rams through into P3. He's got the great exit there. He's challenging the 2 Riker Autos. Matimar finding some grass. He's going to fall into the mid-pack here as we enter turn 5 here. Rams into the lead of the feature. Oh my goodness, what has happened there? I took my eyes off the back of the field for a minute, and all of a sudden now Matimar is at the very back. He's in last place. A massive few lockets here. Little One finding some trouble. Urist and Bubbles also finding issues getting through the corners here. Oh my god, it's just all over the place here at the start of our Finnish C Prix. 6Y is leading us away at the front, though. It's Figo, Rams, and Himpo fighting away right behind him. So the 2 soft runners in 6Y and Himpo. Himpo going wide there, but still catches, still holds onto that substream, but he's fighting trouble holding onto the P4 there, with Red Lobster fighting him away or going through the inside, but Himpo still got the speed here. No, but Red Lobster's get a much better line into turn 13 and will take the move. That gets him into P5, and Rams is struggling as well. Red Lobster up to the podium positions here as the 2 VEOs are really falling down a little bit, but it is a massive gap between Pumpkin, now currently in P6, and Ethan in 7th. Fighting with Axperial, Bunny, it's James and Kiato finding huge amount of trouble there, just on the outside of turn 3 and just entering right at the apex of turn 4. So, it is absolute carnage here. Matimar finding no way to get through some of the guys at the back here. He's still in P18. It's a horror start for the pole, as Goose is fighting away with Urist, Kiato, Trixie, and Priya. So getting through. Urist and Goose finding themselves taking each other out. Little One trying to get past the Canadian. at the very back of the field, but it is a 2-horse race now out front. Figueroa is holding onto the slipstream of 6Y here. 4 laps into our feature race here at the Kymi Ring in Finland. Rams, the hometown home race for him, running in P3. Then it is Pumpkin and Himpo in 4th and 5th. Himpo really struggling on the softs, it feels like. It's only been 4 laps so far, as a lot of the drivers at the front are running the hard tyres, so I'll be hoping to run long for this initial stint. Red Lobster now in P6, but Rusky and Ethan are going to be fighting away for him, trying to get through on the Turkish driver. And yeah, it's still going between those 3 quite nicely. Jaruni in P9, he's gotten through most of the chaos, but he's definitely been hurt by it. We'll be hoping those mediums can take him on a different trajectory compared to everyone else who could run 3 mediums to the end of the race from here. So Jaruni hoping for that 9 stint strategy to pay off late down the line. Bubbles in P10, holding on to that position for now ahead of Bunyots James. Both drivers on the hard tyres. We've got our first pit stop of the race here. Rusky in after just 5 laps on the softs. He's in for a set of hard tyres. Gonna go back to P10 because it is a big bundle of chaos here. Kiato has said he's done with this race, but he's still going, so we can see if he actually decides to DNF, or maybe he can fight it out and try his best to claw back some positions. Matimar in P11th, followed by Experial. It's Goose and Eurus fighting for P13, little one behind them as well. Rusky on fresh hard tyres is running in P16 now. I'd be hoping to get a move on some of the competitors behind him. It's Kiato and Priya, 17th and 18th, and Trixie behind them as well. So a few drivers going in. It's Red Lobster actually into the pits, so he's going to be falling down the order, down to P16 on a second set of soft tyres. It's Figueroa now into the lead of the race. 6Y really struggling on those soft tyres on their 7th lap now. He'll have to make a stop now into the pits. And if anything, that gives Figueroa a lot of time, a lot of free air to just run down and try and make some distance between him and the Latvian. 6Y onto hard tyres is going to be falling right behind his teammate here on the mediums. So maybe they can team up together, maybe give Jaruni a bit of that slipstream once those mediums start to die off. In a few laps, a few more drivers heading into the pit stops. Himpo now in P10 after his stop. Red Lobster behind him on that undercut, not able to take the position away from him. Then it's Eurus and Goose behind the 2 of them. Little one in 14th. Let's go back to the lead because it's Figueroa now almost 4 seconds up on Rams and Pumpkin, who are trying to work together a little bit, but Pumpkin is hoping for a move here. He's going to try and look at a bit of exit out of turn 4, and he does. They're going to go side by side through this long straight on the rundown to turn 5. Side by side, Pumpkin has the inside line and will take that position quite nicely there into P2 for the Norwegian. Behind them, of course, it's 6Y on those fresh hards, and these are running quite nicely. He will be taking the lead back from Figueroa after Figueroa stops. But we'll have to see when Figueroa stops because he's running now 10 laps on the hards. Rams has decided it's enough. He's going in for a stop there, and he's going for another set of hards. Jaruni taking those mediums to lap 9. Matimar still going. He's risen into P4, but he will have to stop relatively soon. Bubbles now also into P6. Lobster and Himpo finding some trouble there, as Himpo is just finding some more wear on those soft tyres. So is Red Lobster. They'll both have to pit in, say, 3-4 laps time. Rusky is in P7. He's running pretty well on that super long undercut. He only pitted off the soft tyres on lap 5, so we'll have to see how those hards will do him for the second half of that stint. It's Figueroa now into the pits, and he's out of the pits. I've missed that, but he is well behind 6Y, about a second gap between the 2 drivers. Pumpkin and Rams side by side now. Rams trying that undercut. It's not entirely worked, but he's got some extra speed. Entering turn 5, he does have the inside line. It's a great battle between these 2 drivers. They're still holding onto the position. Pumpkin having the fresher tyres here, but he finds a bit of trouble getting through turn 9 there, and Rams will take the position and go back into P3. For the next group, though, it's Rusky and Himpo side by side. Himpo on some relatively new softs and Rusky on about 6 or 7 lap old hard tyres. It's Jaruni through on Rusky though, and I'll be hoping to do the same to Himpo, because Jaruni's tyres are a lot fresher than Himpo's, even if they are the mediums, compared to the softs of the finished driver here. Going side by side again into turn 5, Jaruni with the inside, and he makes that move relatively simple looking. He's into P5. Himpo still holding onto that slipstream though. He'll try to make a move here into turn 13. It's not going to look quite nice for him. The grip's really dying out. Jaruni making a mistake there allows Himpo to get through onto the final corner, and Himpo will actually take P5 at the end of the lap. Wow. So, still tight between those two. Himpo trying to nurse those softs maybe a lap or two longer, as Red Lobster actually makes his second pit stop for the race now. And he's on for another set of soft tyres at the start of lap 13. So maybe he is going for a 4-stop. I'm not too sure what his goal is here. The softs are working for him. He is pretty pacey on them. But the extra stops are really losing him a lot of time here. Let's go back to the leaders, because 6Y actually building a bit of a gap on Figueroa despite the significantly more worn harder tyres of the Latvian here. Figueroa about 2 seconds back. Pumpkin and Ram still fighting side by side in that battle for the final place on the podium. Ram's through into P3. Pumpkin's not going to give it up just yet, but he will have to settle for 4th for the time being. Just let the finished driver through and maybe take another opportunity to battle here, but Ram's finding a bit of trouble on turn 13. Pumpkin unable to really do anything much about that. It's Priya though, who retires from the race after just 14 laps. They've had enough, and she is going to be out for this round now. So we go back. Jaruni is on that move, still chasing the top 3 now, and actually gapping the rest of the field here. Matima on some relatively fresh hard tyres in P6, followed by Rusky, who's really having his hards tested now. I'm not sure his strategy here from the rest of the race, because he might have to run 11 lap hards, or maybe try for a different strategy here with a different tyre, because pitting on lap 5 for a new set of tyres was it was a good look in hindsight, but he does look like to be going for another lap. It will be 11 hards for Rusky, and he'll be losing time to the 2 drivers behind him. Heritage Performances, Ethan and Bunyo, it's James here. The 2 drivers look to be fighting side by side a little bit. Bunyo really wants to move on. He does have the fresher tyres. Ethan is taking the inside line though. He's going to hold on to that. Both go wide. It's Himpo who's going to take advantage of that on the soft tyres. No! It's a punt there, and Himpo loses even more time. This undercut is not going to be helpful for him. Still no one into the pits just yet. Bunyo's James is trying to hold on to the position as best he can, but Himpo is through into P9. And he cuts the corner there, trying to make a move. Rusky is in now onto his potentially last set of hard tyres. He'll have to be running that for another 11 lap stint. There's a few drivers are also making their stops here. Little one in for mediums, and 6Y actually at the very front of the grid. Figueroa is through back into the lead of the race, and 6Y is going to be going for 10 laps of hard tyres. Figueroa will be hoping to go a few more and maybe try to bolt on some mediums or perhaps even softs to make one large charge at 6Y's lead. It's a 6.4 second gap as 6Y on that undercut. Will be hoping to shave that off more and more. Pumpkin and Ram still side by side, still fighting away on those hard tyres. They'll be hoping maybe one of them blinks first. It will be Rams who has the older set of tyres here, so he might be the one who needs to make that pit stop first, unless he really wants to brave it out and potentially hold on to the slipstream. He does go another lap, and so does Pumpkin into lap 19 for the 2 of them. Jaruni in after 18 laps. It's a second, potentially 3rd stint now on his final stint on the medium tyre for 9 laps on that one, and we'll have to see what everyone goes. Himpo through into P6 now, but how long will he hold on to that one? Himpo does have the soft tyres, but they are quite worn, and Himpo will have to pit again, surely, to make it to the end of the race here. Figueroa still going for his for another lap on hard tyres, and at this point, you could argue he is a shot here for the win. He has to claw a lot of time back from 6Y, but he will have the benefit of fresh, soft rubber to get in. And it is Rams, actually, who makes that first move. He's going for hard tyres for 8 laps. That is a very interesting decision there. I think he's, especially with his battle here, he's hoping for grip more than anything, which is why the hards are probably the decision for him, though. Pumpkin will have the lap to react and potentially put on a fresher set of tyres. And it is Figo in, and it is Figo on the soft tyres here to start lap 21. We'll have to see how big that gap is as he exits. It is 4 seconds. I think it's doable for Figo, but it will have to really depend on how the wear treats 6Y for these last 7 laps here. But we'll have to keep a close eye on the gap between Figueroa and 6Y. That'll be quite interesting as the race is nearing the end here. Pumpkin still on the hard tyres. He'll be hoping for only 6 laps of softs, surely, if he pits after this one. But he'll have to claw back quite a lot of time he's lost to Rams on that undercut. A few more drivers making their final stops here. Urist and Kiato in. And that is Pumpkin in. We'll have to see how far Rams is. He makes a bit of a mistake getting through the final few corners. He will have a bit of a gap here, but how much of a gap will it be? As Pumpkin exits the pit lane, and he's only 2.5 seconds back from his adversary in this race here. Jaruni just a second and a half back from Pumpkin, so at the moment it's looking like P5, potentially P4 is the limit for Jaruni here after that after his start was muddled there. A lot of trouble there with the drivers at the back of the field, but he's made a good charge on those medium tyres. Matimar, though, will be chasing him on some fresh softs here. He's only a second away from Jaruni, so we'll be hoping for more. He puts in a personal best for the race here. Rusky running in P7 will be hoping he can hold on to that position. Himpo chasing on some fresh softs. Bubbles and Bunyots James 9th and 10th will be hoping to fight away for that position, especially if you're Bunyo. Bubbles will be wanting to run away at all costs. We're looking back at the lead here. 6Y starting lap 24 is 2.5 seconds ahead of Figueroa. So Figueroa is gaining quite a lot of time, but he only has 4 laps to make the distance here, and he's only gained 4/10 on the previous lap, so it would be a big ask here from Figueroa. His laps on his first few laps on those soft tyres not doing him enough, I think. It might be a stretch from this point, but he's still going for it. He's gaining a bit more time. We'll have to see 6Y with 36.75 last lap. Figueroa, again, 4/10 faster on the previous lap, so he's still gaining at a pretty consistent rate, but he has very little time to actually get that job done. Rams now still in P3, getting chased down by Pumpkin. He's got 3 laps to make that move for the podium position, and he's definitely in the distance to make a charge for that one through the final few laps. Matimar is ahead of Jaruni now, and Jaruni just cooperating on those medium tyres, but they will both be worn, so actually a battle for P1, a battle for P3, and a battle for P5 as we enter the tail end of this race here in the Kymi Ring. Rusky just holding onto the position against Himpo. Himpo's tyres will start to slowly die down too. Rusky will have to hold on for an 11th lap on those hard tyres. It's been quite... oh, that's a big mistake there from Rusky. Himpo is going to go through into P7. And it's the task now for Rusky to hold on to that slipstream and try and make sure he can potentially still challenge at the end of the race, but he's really finding that grip even more treacherous. It's 6Y now starting the final lap. The gap has only grown from 2 seconds to 2.5 now. Figueroa really finding the wear just a bit too much now, and it's looking like it's going to be another double win for the Latvian driver. Ram still holding on to P3 from Pumpkin, but the gap is very negligible now. Pumpkin will have the slipstream going into turn 5. And he's going to make the move, try and go dart down the outside here. Rams will hold him to the inside of the corner. The grip really low for both of them. We'll have to go back to the lead because 6Y will make it a comfortable win once again. And Figueroa will make it another podium position for him. Rams and Pumpkin now fighting away. It's still Pumpkin trying to get past Rams here. Rams takes the inside. No, Pumpkin's got the inside, sorry. They're going side by side, but I think Rams has just pipped Pumpkin to the line. Jaruni, I think, has made a mistake on that final corner, and Matima is through into P5 as well. Himpo and Rusky side by side. It looks like Himpo will take it, finishing in P7, Rusky in 8th, and it's Bunyos James gapping Mr. Bubbles here in that race for 9th position. Good result for Bunyo. Bubbles in 10th, and it's Lobster in 11th, having the resort to those hard tyres. Ethan in P12, Kiato and Urist, followed by Goose in 13th, 14th, and 15th respectively. Little One in 16th, and it's Trixie 17th, and Xperia will be our last driver to finish the race. Well, it was, the gaps really developed quite early, but at the end of the race there was a lot of tight finishes all across the field. We love to see that. 6Y, he is your sprint race winner, and he is your feature race winner at the Kymi Ring today. Figueroa finishing third in the sprint, second in the feature, and Rams, another solid finish for him. Will be delighted with the podium there, just ahead of Pumpkin, pipped at the line there. It was a good drive for the Norwegian driver. Matimal recovering from the very back of the grid into P5. Good result, just edging out Jaruni at the end there. P6 for the Belarusian. Himpo in 7th, just ahead of Rusky. And then Bunyos James and Bubbles completing the top 10. Lobster in 11th, then it's Ethan, Kiato, Urist, Goose, Little One, Trixie, and Xperia, with Priya our one and only retirement from this race. And thankfully we actually got to finish this time around. Quite nice, especially after last round's chaotic end to proceedings. But that'll be it for today. Thank you for attending. Thank you for viewing this race, and we'll have to see how the season ramps up. 6Y, our dominant title leader at the moment. Can he hold on to that as we head down under for round 3 for the Australian Grand Prix at the Albert Park Circuit? We'll see you then.